Hey everyone, how you doing? Happy Friday. Hi Pradumi, the first one here. Thank you so much for joining. We have an exciting day today planned, and I've already thought of like a green square that someone can get. If anyone wants a green square, let me know. I just thought of an idea for the LinkFree project, which could be great for someone to log as an issue so I don't forget, because you know what my memory's like. And today we're going to be working on a LinkFree project, and we're going to be adding testimonials to it. I think it'd be really quite exciting that we can all give each other testimonials, but we get green squares when we raise it. Let me show you, and we can get straight into it. Hey Christian, how you doing? Awesome to have you here. Thanks for joining. And I hear you've been having so many coffee chats with people, helping so many people. So I really, really love that. So amazing work. I think that's just so cool. I love hearing all those awesome stories on socials. So that's great. Let me add my screen to the stream and we make it a bit bigger. So this is what we're going to be working on today. I don't know why that went a bit smaller. I don't know how far we'll get, but we can hopefully continue in Discord over the weekend as well. But I think we can get the majority of it done. I can do it in a pull request and you all can add your own improvements to it as well. LinkFree is going so well. I have some interesting, not only feature ideas, but also possibly maybe I'm going to apply for some funding for the LinkFree because I think it's gone so well. So that will give us more funding for me to spend on it and hopefully for others to spend on it, because obviously I want to share the love. So let's see how it goes. It's something I want to do in the next 4 weeks. I'm really trying to push this further ahead. And we've also even got the documentation as a pull request for it at the moment. I can quickly show you what it looks like, which Carl started. Oh, here we go. I've got it opened already, which Carl started a couple of weeks ago. But now, again, this is in a pull request, so it's not deployed yet. But there's a docs button on the site, and then you get like a docs section. And at the moment, I've just added like a button for basic profile and advanced profile. And this is all written in Markdown, but it's all within the app. So I'm really interested to move the documentation into the app again to make it a lot easier for people, and therefore the README doesn't get so big. But we're not doing that today. We're doing testimonials today. But I'd love to see all the feedback that you all think. So what else was I going to say? Oh yes, the idea. So who needs a green square? I was going to say, could someone raise an issue? So if those of you who don't know what the LinkFree project looks like, let me just bring it up. So this is a LinkFree project. And if I just go to, look at that, over 10K profile views. And this is only since version 2 came out recently because it wasn't counting the views before. But this is my profile. But what I was thinking underneath the topics, when we have the QR code here, but what I was thinking, potentially showing someone's latest tweet or latest YouTube video or a snippet from their blog post. And we can get that from like RSS feeds and so forth. So I thought someone could add to their profile to turn this feature on and say what platform they want to call it from. And then like a kind of like a card snippet could appear and then someone could go and view it. For example, we're live streaming now. It'd be great for that to appear on my LinkFree profile and people come through and watch it. I don't know, some ideas around that. So if someone could log an issue so I don't forget. So who wants that issue? Write it in the chat. Let us know. You're absolutely welcome, Christian. Great work. Hey, Solly, how you doing? Hey, Harshit. QR and tags are super amazing. Thank you so much. The QR, I was using it at an event, had it on my phone, and I was holding up, people were scanning it and coming and finding all my links. So that was pretty cool. Topics, I want to make these clickable. So actually that's a second issue. So write in the chat, who's going to raise the issue to say, pick latest social post, and that could be Twitter or YouTube or blog post, something like that. And then we've got a second issue I'd love for someone to raise on the repo, which is make these topics clickable, so therefore it would go to the search and automatically, like now we can only search for the name, but we could search for the topics and automatically pre-fill it. So therefore if you want to find people, you can find people who are in the same kind of topics as you. If you're looking for DevOps, you can find out people. Again, creating that kind of connection and so forth. So raise those two issues. Let us know in the chat who's going to raise them. And we'll get started with today's coding session that I'm super excited about. Yeah, latest blogs. Yeah, exactly. Like the latest something, I think would be really good. And they could choose like one thing, whatever it is, the latest something I think could be quite good. Hi, how you doing? Great that you're all saying hi to each other in the chat. You know I really love that. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. So let's get started. Let's get coding. But we've got those two issues. I will raise them if no one needs the green square, but I need someone to raise those issues. So issue number one, so issues. So number one, let me write it down so we don't forget. So number one would be display latest social post. I'll put in brackets. I'm writing this in the chat so someone can do it. Twitter, YouTube, etc. In their LinkFree profile. And then number two, search by tags. I think that would be a separate one, search by tags. And then number three then would be make tags clickable and searchable. Clickable to search. That would make more sense. So someone could raise those three issues would be awesome. Yes, Tamal, you're absolutely right. If these could be color coded correctly, like the Twitter and the GitHub one, that would be awesome as well. So that'd be great. Raise that as an issue. So we've got 4 issues there. Let's go. So today, testimonials. Okay. So what I was thinking is, and again, I got more green squares for all of you as well, because I need you to raise some testimonials for me to see it appear on my profile. So what I was thinking was, on my profile, it would be great if someone created the JSON file and I could pick what testimonials to show on my LinkFree profile. What do you all think? Let me know. So let's get coding. So we've got the terminal. We're in the main branch. If I just do a pull, make sure I've got all the latest good stuff. Let's check. And then we'll create a branch after that. Okay, got the latest. And then if we check out, make a new branch and we'll call it testimonials. Testimonials. Okay, so we're in that branch now. Let's clear that. And then we should have VS Code. Okay, perfect. And then what else do we want to do? Well, we need some JSON files to begin with. So if I push this branch, then you all can start making some pull requests to this branch. So if I make this push this, there's no changes in it yet. It's the same as the default branch main, but you can start making your pull requests into it. So I've pushed testimonials now. And so what I'm thinking is, let's have a look. Hey, Sean, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Anyone need any green squares? There's 3 green squares available in the chat. If you don't want it, I will take them, but I will get some more now anyway. And so in the data directory is where everyone's profiles are. So I'm going to create a new one. So the idea is that each profile could have a folder now. So I'll say, not data, I'll call it Eddie Jowd. So that would match my file. So there's actually, as you can see up here, eddiejowd.json. And then here is the folder that I've made. There's nothing inside it. Let's make a new folder. New file, and I will make it as a test one. Or does someone want to add that? That'd be great. I'll make a test one. I'll just say Sarah, and then I can always delete that afterwards as well. I'll make a JSON file, and then from the issue, if any of you want to see the issue, let me share it in the chat as well. Let's have a look. Any questions, do ask in the chat as we go along. Other people in the chat will help. And I will hopefully catch up with the chat and answer as well. So this is the example I thought of. What do you all think? So for a testimonial, we'll have a title of the testimonial and the full details, maybe description. I don't know if that's the right word. And then maybe a recommendation percentage. People could order by that and so forth. Just an idea. Anything else that we'd need? We'd know who the user was because this would need to match their GitHub user anyway. So it's Sarah, GitHub user, is making a testimonial to my GitHub user. So we know who those are. So I don't think we need user in here, in an additional field. I think we've got that already. What else do you think we would need? We can get their profile picture so we can display that with them. I'm not sure we need anything else. So if you think we do, let me know. Oh, I forgot there's the copy button there. So let's go back to the code. Let me paste that. And missing a comma there. Okay, so great to work with, Eddie. Eddie is always keen to collaborate. Again, I've just written something as an example. We'll delete this later. And then hopefully you all can add some more. So let me commit this because then you've got the folder there online and you can create your own one. Just, you can copy and paste Sarah's one and just change the data. So if I do a git status, we could do git add, and then I can do a commit and push. So let's have a look. So we're going to say here feature, and it's going to be testimonial file. Okay, so if I do that. Oh, type my password in wrong. You won't get this unless you're using GPG keys. Typed it in wrong. You hopefully won't do that. And then I'm going to push that to my testimonial branch. So again, you can all see that, and you can make a pull request to my testimonial branch as well. Okay, perfect. So if I open it on GitHub, you will see this. If I go to pull requests, I'm going to make a new pull request. I'll make it in draft, but this is testimonials. Is going to fix issue 2259. Fixes 2259. And then I'll fill the rest in later, but I'm going to create it as a draft pull request, but you can still raise pull requests to this pull request. There you go. So it's created, and I can share that in the chat if that helps anyone to find it as well. Okay, what are you all thinking so far? Hey Slavin, how you doing? Is it okay to add a code review to a pull request if it's already one or many? Is it redundant? I think it's important. I think getting multiple perspectives, like if a pull request only got one review, I get a bit nervous. 2 or 3, I start feeling more confident. But yeah, make sure it adds value. Don't just go around and just, approve loads just to get the green square. If you're adding value and you have actually reviewed it, then definitely do it. The recommendation 100 is a great question, Tamal. I was thinking as a percentage, like how much would you recommend them? Maybe that's not like a good number. Would someone recommend someone 50%? Maybe it's not. Maybe we should remove that. It was just an idea. Maybe not a good idea, but it was just an idea. So thank you so much for questioning it. Let's see what others think, and maybe we remove it as well. Harshit, yes, start. You can get started now. So I've raised this pull request, create a new pull request where you add another file. So I've added data eddyjoud sarah.json. You would do data eddyjoud / your GitHub username.json. And then you could fill in the title and description with the information that you think is useful. Hi, Victor. How are you doing? Hey, Carl. How are you? Carl, good timing. We were just chatting about testimonials on the LinkFree project. Again, it's a great way for people to add testimonials to their profile, but also for other people to get green squares and, collaborate with people and give them testimonials. They'll do it with a JSON file in the same folder name as the person they're recommending. Tamal rightfully pointed out that is recommendation 100 worth it? Probably not. So I might actually remove that. Maybe we just have the title and description for the testimonial. Might be enough. Let me know what you all think. And I can push that straight up. Now we can say git testimonial file. Here we go. And I can push that up. So therefore it hasn't got the recommendation on it, because maybe that isn't so beneficial. Okay, let's clear that, and we should have a clean directory. Okay, perfect. So now let's do a bit of coding. So now we've got the front end where we'll display it, but also, sorry, that's not the front end. That is my JSON file, so we can probably close that in a minute. Here is the API, and then there should be a front end file somewhere. Here's the front end file, which we'll get to last. Let's do the back end first. So the back end, what I'm thinking we do is we load the JSON file of the person. So when you come to the page, let's start the app and show you. So npm run dev. And then if we bring up, here we go, I'll bring it up here. And then go to my profile. This is what it looks like at the moment. And we'll probably just put testimonials at the bottom, but we should probably think about making tabs or something like that, making some improvements. Date. Hey Dan, awesome to have you here. Great work on the Gitpod stuff with Carl on LinkFree. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Date, yeah, what do people think? Date? But then if they update it, does the date would be useful, you're right, because if someone gave someone a recommendation like 5 years ago, is it still relevant and so forth? I like that. Yes, we can add a filter. Yes, we can do it in order. Okay, I like that. Let's do that. Great advice. Love that, everyone. Thank you. So let me go back to the Sarah file, which I've now closed, but I can find it. It's up here. I do need some more recommendations, by the way. And so therefore I can select the recommendations to appear on my profile. So we can, like, if I've got 3 or 4 recommendations, I can pick like 2 or 3. So I want the person to select it. So yeah, if some people can submit some, they can just be example dummy ones. We can delete it before we merge in. If they're real, then great, but don't worry about making them perfect just yet. Just any example would be great. So date, and people are going to write this in all sorts of formats, though, is my only concern. We have to have a format before we merge it. What format do we want to do? Do you want to do like, I don't know, 2022, 10:01, what is it? Time 00. I don't want time. I don't think time's that important. Maybe just like that. We can see. Such great advice, everyone. Love this. Yes, we probably do need some fancy error handling, or maybe just the month and the year. Do we need the day? ISO. Do we want to go full ISO though? If we go put the time on it, I just think that will scare people off. Does the time matter? If we just take the first part of it, does that still work? Or do we even need the day? Is it just the year and the month? Or is it just the year? Maybe year and the month. I don't know. What do you all think? Hey, Som, how you doing? I know ISO is awesome, but does it not make it a bit more difficult for other people? Have a think, let me know. I'm going to start doing a bit of coding now, and we can then display this. I really need your help with all of this as well. So here let's just reduce the side panel to get a bit more space, and we'll check that the app is running. So here we go. We load their file, and so what do we need to do next? So after the check that they load their file, we should probably load the testimonials as well. So let's do that. So what we can do is we know the path of it. So what we could do, we could say file path testimonials. I can never spell that word. We could say path join, and we can do the same CWD. And then we want to join it with data. So it's still that same, and we want to join it with the username. And that's probably it, right? That's the folder. And we will want to know who we want to include. So one thing I thought we could do is so we can make sure that people aren't writing stuff they don't want it to appear on their profile. What I was thinking was testimonials. So on my profile, for example, testimonials, I would select who I want to display. So in this case, I would just put, I've only got one. So that's why I need some of yours in here as well. But I can just say Sarah. Then that way, I can say load the ones that I want. So we'll know which ones are available. So let's have a look. Let's have a think. While you're all thinking, let me look at the chat. You need a standard to avoid British US. Yes, it's true. Definitely need a standard, and it'll be in the docs. But hey, I want to make it as simple as possible. Like I think time and time zones don't really matter. Even the day doesn't really matter. So that's why I think maybe just the month is the simplest. ISO and cut off the time. Okay, so that would be year, month, and then day, like so, right? And then cut off the time. I think that works. I need to scratch my head and think, what am I doing here? So we've got the directory, and I want to load every single file. Oh yeah, every single file that I know the name of. So we've got the directory, and then next, what we want to do is we've got data testimonials, which could be empty, I suppose. So we want to say, we should do something like if data testimonials exists, then we'll go into this section and do this part. And then what we can do is we can say, we could map over the testimonials, and it would be testimonial, singular. And then what we could do is, we need to save that as well. So we'll need to say const testimonials, if I spelled that right. So for each testimonial, I want to load it. So we can just do the same as what we've got, I guess, up here. So I can just copy and paste that. We probably want to do this asynchronously for speed, but for now, I'm just going to keep it really simple and just put that in. So we're going to parse it. We're going to read, not that file path. We're going to read the testimonial file path, but we're going to append it. Let me think, how can I do this which is not too confusing? We need to append it with the actual name and the JSON extension. So let's have a think. I probably want to do another path join, don't I? It's getting like an awful bit of an awful line here. So path join that with, it's going to be, username is a bad one. No, the username's correct. But in this case, it's going to be, let's have a look. You're probably all telling me what to do in the chat. You're going, Eddie, this is wrong. Eddie, do it like this. Let me just try and think my trail of thought, then I'll check the chat in a moment. So it's then going to be for each testimonial. Yeah, it's just each testimonial because this will be the string, I think, from my profile. It will be that. And then we append JSON at the end. I think that's correct. Let me check the chat and where you're all probably saying, Eddie, this is wrong. Let's have a look. Okay, we don't need the time. Yep, cool. With the config JSON becoming more and more complex, TS becomes a thing, doesn't it? As in changing the JSON to TypeScript. You're right, we could have then types. That would be quite nice. Would that scare some people off though? That's my biggest concern. I want to make it as simple as possible for people to add their profile. I think later on we'll add forms and move it into the database, but also want people to get kind of green squares from doing it. So I don't know, I'm on the fence about that. Yeah, what does everyone think? I don't know. That's a tough one. Hey Purva, how you doing? Great to see you here. Thanks for tweeting about the live stream today. I really appreciate it. I gave it a retweet because I loved it, and I didn't tweet about it, so that was perfect. Sabrina, long time. How are you? Hope everything's going well. Glad to see you here. Hey Imran, how are you? Hope you're doing good. So no one's commented on this. So do we think it's going to work? So if I console log this, will it work, do you think? What do you think? Testimonials. Can't even spell testimonials, so probably not going to work because Eddie can't spell it. There we go. So do we think that's going to work? So if I visit my page, will I see the contents of Sarah's testimonial? Because I've included it in my profile. Do we think that's going to work? The path of where it is, and it's in my username, and then we're going to loop over every testimonial in my profile. In this case, it's just says Sarah, but hopefully we'll add some of yours. So I need some of yours to be submitted. Let me know in the chat when you've raised some pull requests so we can get those merged. And then we're going to pass, after we read every file, which is going to be the file, the directory, the path of the directory, and then we're going to append it with, in this case, sarahjow.json. I think that should work. I'm like feeling like 70% confident. What do you all think? Let me know the percentage in the chat. No worries, no worries. It's a relaxed live stream. You probably just missed me making loads of mistakes. So great that you're here. Glad all is well. I love it when people chat to each other in the chat. Do welcome each other, do chat to each other and ask how you're doing. Okay, right, let me clear the console on the right. Let's have a look. Percentages, please, everyone. What do you think percentage-wise? Nothing will be displayed on this page. Nothing will change, but we should see something in the terminal. So I move this to the side so we can try and see it at the same time. Out of 10, what do you think is going to work? I'm like 75% confident. No one has written anything, so I'm going to take that as you're all 100% confident. Let's refresh. Let's have a look. We got it! Look at that! That is one object in the array. So we've actually got it. It worked. First time. It never happens. Really never happens. I did think a bit about it before the live stream to make sure I didn't like fall on my face so badly with this. So it worked. Has anyone submitted any pull requests for me to get 2 or 3 appearing here? But while you're doing that, writing in that chat, we've got that working. So what we need to do now is get that to the front end because that's not available in the front end yet. So what we need to do next is probably, we could just merge it down here actually. So where we create data, at the moment testimonials is just an array, but we could change that. So I'm going to change data from a const to a let because we want to rewrite it. I think we just rewrite it down here. I think we say data equals, and we'll make a new object, which will be the original data. But in addition, we're going to add the new testimonials that we just created. What do you think? And then if I do a console log down here, let's just write the shorthand of data, we should see this should look like, if I clear, I can leave it open, but you should see our profile data with the additional testimonial data in there as well. So let's have a look. Let's give it a refresh. Okay, so if we go scroll to the top, this was what we had before. This is my normal data, and here we have testimonials. So we have one in there, and it's an array, so we could add more objects if needed. So that looks like it's working to me. I'm pretty happy about that. So that's pretty cool. Did you all not write numbers because it wasn't 100% confident? You were more like around the 0. You were being polite. So now we know that works. So if there is in someone's profile loading in a testimonial, then it will display it. The question is, what happens if we write something that's incorrect? It will probably explode. So we need a bit of like error handling around there. We could do some checks, I suppose. We could either wrap it in a try catch. We could check if it appears in that directory. There are a few things we can do. I will make a note, and we can fix that later on. That's like the boring part. Let's get into the fun stuff. Let's get it displayed. Let's get it shown on the front end. So what we'll do is, I see some percentages in the chat. Pulver was 70%. You agreed with me, or were close enough to me. I think I said 70, 75. So awesome. We're on the same page. Great. Okay. Right, let's go to the front end now. What do you think of this feature idea, by the way? Do you think it's useful? Would you submit a testimonial to a friend? Would you display testimonials on your LinkFree profile? So when we come to the front end now, let's just console log data. This page needs to be split up a bit. It's quite big. It's a bit of tidy up on there. I need to do it, or we need to do it. But if I come up to here, and if we get data coming into the front end, so this is React, we're using NextJS for this. So if I come to the front here and then do a console log of data and hit save, we will no longer see it on the API. But if I refresh the page on the front end, I need to make this full screen so I can open the console log. Here we go. Not console log, sorry, the console, the browser console thing. And you can see it is here. Don't know why it appears twice. Oh, React Dev Tools. Okay, displays it. So here we go. This is my data. It's quite small. Let me make it a bit bigger for you. Let's make it a bit bigger. Here we go. And we've got all the other stuff that was there already. But look, we have testimonials. And there's one in there. There you go. So it worked. Awesome. So it is coming through to the front end now. So that is great. Okay. So next, we want to display it on the front end because it's available. I mean, that's how beautiful. I love NextJS and SvelteKit. They have like the fullstack app all together is awesome. Hey, Aridam, hope I pronounced it right. Great to have you here. It's a great feature, can help increase credibility of the person. Thank you so much, Imran. I think so. I think it could help. And people can get green squares by submitting profile testimonials for each other. And they don't have to include them if they don't want to. They can include their favorite ones. But people still get the green squares, which I think is awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do is how are we doing on time? 30 minutes in already. Wow. Time flies when you're having fun. So I want to go down here, and we've got events, which we're not really using, but I do want to start using that. But for the moment, we'll leave that here. So what I'm thinking is if I cheat and I duplicate events. Now let's not duplicate events. Let's slot it in above events. We need to come up with tabs or some ideas. I was speaking to Carl and Amanda and a few others in Discord, and we were talking about buying Tailwind. Here we go, I've got it open already. And the reason for that is it gives you these pre-built components done already, which I think could be quite, make it a lot easier. And they got templates and stuff. So these are all padlocked, but by buying it, they'll be unlocked. I think that will help us come up with things. So for testimonials, I see that to be something like, I did see something somewhere. Oh, I like this one, data display. That could be good. We've got stats for people, so let's display it. Oh, we've got feeds. So the milestones could be updated to feeds. What we've got at the moment, I created myself. There was something about like, I'm pretty sure I saw testimonials or feedback or something somewhere. Let's have a look. If not, we can find it later. I got page examples as well, which is cool. But there was something I did see, like team members, but I could use it as testimonials. I can't remember where I saw it, but it was somewhere there. But apparently there's like 500 components that we can use. So I will get that later today, I think. Let's get back to here and see what we're going to do. So I will do a separator just like this one, just to keep it the same. Again, I'm not massively a big fan of that, but just for the moment, we'll keep it the same. I think that was a temporary fix that ended up staying. So we'll say if testimonials exists, then run the code that we want to run. And the code that we're going to run is data.testimonials, and we're going to, just like events, we're going to map over it. We're going to grab the testimonial, singular, I think that's spelled right. We'll get a key. Yeah, we don't have a name, so we'll grab a key. Oh, what we should do, actually, I've just realized a bit of a mistake. It's not a mistake, it's just missing information, but we can fix that in a moment. And then what are we going to do in this map? So how are we going to display it? So for now, I mean, we could literally just, I don't know, write out the information, write out the data. So we could do something like, I don't know, just a p tag. It's going to look terrible, but it will work. We could say testimonial, and then we could say, did we call it title, name? What was it? Title. Okay. So we could say title. I think that's going to work. Oh, it's not in the brackets. That's why it looked a bit weird. Okay. So we've got that. We should really put a key in there, but I'm not going to do that for the moment because we're going to do this properly shortly. So if we go back to here, does it work? And do we see it at the bottom? Yes, great to work with Eddie. I've only got one at the moment. I'm hoping some of you have submitted some pull requests so we can get some more in. So that's now appearing, and we could add the description underneath. But we don't have the username. So if we look here, we have date, description, and title, but we don't have the username. So one thing we will want to do is on the API side, when we bring all this data together on the testimonials and we return the data, we want to append the actual username. So actually this should be, I reckon that should be like username really, because it is the username that we're loading. I think it's more descriptive. What do you all think? But then the other thing I was going to say is we should add the object to this. So let me think, how can we do this in a clean sort of way? Should we do it in one line, multiple lines? Should I save this to a variable and then append the other data afterwards? We could do something like this. Let me see what you're all saying in the chat, because you're probably just see this. At an event I went to recently, SvelteKit was the talk of the town. You would have loved it, Carl. Everyone was talking about it. People there use it. I think they do content on it. Some of them might even be maintainers on it. It was definitely the most talked about one. How does their purchasing system work? Does it have a license key you need to build? I don't think so. I think it's really relaxed because their licensing is really, really relaxed, really impressive. You can use it on unlimited projects. You can use it on open source projects as well. It's really, really impressive. So even if I just buy it and use it on a couple of projects, I love to support their team. So yeah, it's really good. As long as you're not trying to repackage their stuff and sell it on as your own, with minor tweaks and so forth, then they don't mind. They seem really pretty flexible. So yeah, it's pretty cool. By the way, has everyone given the video a thumbs up? Really helps support the channel. Let me know in the chat how many thumbs up we have got on this video. So yeah, I'm thinking, well, this, if I do it in one line, does it make it a little bit more complicated? I don't know. Let's just see. So we probably want to do that. Will that work? And then at the end of this, we'll probably now say, oops, didn't mean to do that. It'll just be username. Need a comma up there. And then we need to close that and close that. That's not that readable, is it? I think it will work. Let's just check it out. But I just don't think it's very readable. Let's have a look. So now in here, if it doesn't break. Oh, it broke. Oh no, we removed the console log. That's fine. Yes, we know it needs a unique key prop, but I was just doing that as a temporary solution. I don't think we have seen anything in the console log. So I didn't put a console log out, so we can't see it, but we can quickly put one out back here and see, but I'm pretty sure it should be there. Console log. And if we just say data, and we're going to say data testimonials just to have less data coming out. And we should have an array. Oh, undefined. Oh, I busted it maybe. It's too confident it was going to work. Everything was going so well before. I was like, yeah, of course it's going to work. Everything else has gone well. Let's have a look. Let's put a console log down here and see. So what we wanted to do in each testimonial, we wanted to return the data, the JSON data, and we spreaded it. Is that a word? And then we've appended also the username to it. So that in theory should work. Let's just do a console log here and we can see on the back end what has gone wrong. Okay, let's have a look. So we clear the terminal. Let's give it a refresh. Oh, it is there. And we do have username. Okay, I think maybe I'd saved it part of the way, didn't save something, but that looks okay. Let's just put it after data. Let's just make sure that we haven't like overwritten anything with some bad naming on my side or anything like that. Let's go back to the terminal. We have milestones, we have links, we have testimonials, and we have username in there. I'm pretty happy with that. That looks good. Okay, let's just try and display it and see what happens. So let's save that. Let's go back to the front end file. And I think we removed the console log from here. We did. Let's go to the bottom here and we have title, and let's just put title, comma, and we could put testimonial, and we could say description. Let's just make sure all the data is coming through, and then we can try and style out with Tailwind. And I'm terrible at designing, so this is why I need to buy Tailwind to get some help. Testimonial.username. And then we could, from this username, we could maybe link it to their LinkFree profile. Again, it's in kind of create almost like a social network. We can all get discovered a bit more. I mean, if you see on my LinkFree, it's quite, if I go LinkFree, Eddie Jowd, it's quite popular. Like in the last couple of weeks, it's got 4K views. So I'd love other people to get their profile reviews by giving me testimonials and so forth. So let's have a look. So let me save this time so I don't forget. So I saved it. And refresh. Let's have a look. There we go. So he's got Sarah's Jowd username. Doesn't link anywhere. Doesn't load in their profile picture or anything like that. We would improve that a lot more. Great to welcome Eddie. And this is a description. Eddie's always keen to collaborate. Blah blah blah. So it works. It looks ugly, but it works. So we've got data coming in from the back end, and as more files are added, so let's just test that out. I bet you don't think it's going to work, right? We can add some more files and see. Amazing GitHub profiles are awesome. So awesome to hear that, Purva. And thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I cannot come up with a good design. I imagine something in my mind I think is good. I build it terribly. So it ends up going from bad to worse. So that's why I think I need to buy that, those pre-built kind of components, and I can customize them further. Like make them, like you said, Eddie Hub-esque. And maybe we could even like have a repo where they've got the Eddie Hub components. I know we have Storybook on here. I know you're using something else in the Finder project. There must be some way where we can share components, or unless we want projects to look different. So we just have to think about that as well. Okay, so what was I just thinking? Oh yeah, I was going to show you and prove to you that it will only load in the ones that I suggest. So let's open this. And if anyone's made any pull requests, let me know. Let me just copy, actually, let me copy this one. And I'm going to call it Brioche. That's our rabbit. I'm not going to want to load hers. So I'll show you that it doesn't load. So don't load this. Okay, so that one doesn't load. And let's add another one, which we can call, I don't know, test, for example. And then we'll say load this. So we can show that load this. Right, so I've saved that. So now if I go back to my profile, I specify which ones I want. So I will want to load Brioche, but I won't want to load test, for example. So if I put Brioche in here and hit save, in theory, there should, hopefully in practice, there should be 2 underneath here, but not 3. I busted it. What did I break? What did I break? Let's have a look. Illegal operation on directory read. That's not good. I broke something. Let's go back to the top and see. What did I break? No such file or directory. This is why we need error handling. Brioche, oh, I spelled it wrong. That's why. So we need error handling for that, because if one isn't found, then it should just be ignored. So that's probably something, we could probably add that in now really quick as well. So let's go do that. So what we can do is, let's see. It will be this section, so it won't be able to read the file if it can't find it. And then it will throw an exception, and then we want to return nothing, but we want it to continue onto the next one. So if it finds one it can't find, it should definitely continue on to the next one. So what are you all thinking? I could make this into a function, because it's a map. it will return an empty array, which we don't want. We want it to skip over that. Let me have a think about that. I've got too many things going on in my mind, trying to do too many things at once. Let's get that working, and then I can come back and do error handling afterwards, because I'm trying to do too many things at once. And my brain is single-threaded, and I can only do one thing at once. Right, let's go back to the home page, click on Eddie. And now you can see there's two. There is Sarah and Brioche, but the test one isn't loaded because it wasn't included in my profile. So let me make a note of what we were just talking about. Like I said, I will forget. So we can put in here, we can go to do error handling. So it needs to be done. Okay, that's fine. The to-do's highlighted. How are we doing on time? Wow, time's going fast. We should probably do some styling, but I suck so bad at styling. Who wants to help me come up with designs? Any pull requests come in, by the way? 12. If I refresh, does it go up anymore? 13. Oh, one more came in. Is it a testimonial for me to add? No. Something not related. Oh, testimonial file. That was me. Okay. So, right. What was I doing? Oh, yeah. So we should display that a lot nicer. But I think this whole page can be tidied up a little bit. I'm thinking maybe if I buy the component thing, we can even tidy up milestones. And how do you think we should display all this? Page is getting longer and longer. Do you think there should be tabs along the top where it's default on the links and that's all people see? And then the other tab could be their milestones, if milestones exist. And then it could be testimonials, again, if it exists. And then still display this at the top. Just thinking to see what we could do. I have got a pull request, well, not pull request, a branch which has got login. So my stats are shown because I've turned it on, but some people might want it disabled. So not disabled, like hidden. So I did include next auth next, so people can log in. So I've just done that part. It's not quite finished, but then they can see their stats and no one else can. And they might be able to in the future manage their profile and so forth. Okay, so questions in the chat and help. I need help. You know me, I always need help. Well, collaborate. Let's see. I think a tab system might be good. This is working, and we've got error handling to do. So we definitely need to design it. I mean, we could put some simple Tailwind designs on it. Carl is much better at this than me. But if we go to the front end, we could put some style on it, I suppose. So we could say it's a div, and we can give it their key now. So we can remove the error that's in the console in the browser, change that to a div. And we could put something like a border on it. So class name, I can't remember. Is it just border? Border 2? You're going to put a color. I need to check docs. I forget. Actually, we should have an example here. There we go. Border dashed and border B2. I have to check the docs. I can't remember. My memory is so bad. Always check the docs. So here we go. Font size. And there'll be a border section. Here we go, borders. You've got border radius, border width. Right, so border 2, we can add. Just copy and paste, or I can even type it. It's probably easier. So down here, we can add border 2, and we can add a border color, and you can add styles and so forth. So let's just, I don't know, border slate 200, border slate 200. And then the text in there will probably look terrible. It'll be a bit of a mess, exactly. So what we can do then next is maybe put some padding on it. So we can put padding all the way around of like 4. How does that look? Let's have a look. Starting to look a bit better at the bottom, and then maybe we can put like a margin around all of it for the next one, or we could do it with flex. But again, I don't want to spend too much time on it because I think we'll use a pre-built component for this. I don't know what you think. There you go, so it's a bit spread out now, so we want the person's name. So in here, we could put, I don't know, like a H3 or something. I think I've used H2 already. So we could put a H3. And then under here, we could put the title. Now, that'd probably be bigger, actually. So maybe the title would go first with a H3. I changed my mind on that. And then underneath, the username might be last, so description will be a paragraph tag. And then down here, I mean, this, I'll just put as a P, but we'll probably make it like smaller and grayer. Maybe add a picture of there for theirs or something like that. So there you go. It's starting to look like this. So we could even then put a by, as in BY. So it's by this person. And we could load their profile and get their name, and like I said, and their picture and so forth. So there's things we can do on there. And then styling for the H3, we could then put class name, and then we could put something like text. I think it's Excel, like that. There we go. So it's starting to look better. And once we add like a little profile picture, I think it will look really, really good as well. So that could be quite cool. I mean, there's different ways we could do it as well. So we could do, because we know it's their GitHub username, we could get their picture from there. Let's have a look. Hey engineer, how you doing? Well, this is JavaScript today. I don't do Python, but there are lots of people that do, and lots of open source projects, so do get involved in those. Okay, right. 45 minutes has passed. Let's see. What should we do? What should we do next? Something easy. I kind of want to load their profile picture. I think it might look quite good. So what we can do, if we go to the Tailwind docs, and if we go to one of their free examples, I haven't bought it yet, but I will. There is, or in fact, it's the same on that page, how they've done on the avatar. They've got a fallback image. Okay, I just want it a lot simpler than that. Let me go back to their docs. There is, oh, you can just do rounded on the picture. Oh yeah, that could be quite good. Like, isn't it just rounded full or something? So if I go back here, and we can say by the person, and we'd want to like put it side by side rather than underneath it. But just for now, for simplicity, we could go image, source, and we could say it's github.com/ the person's username. So we're going to need to wrap this like so. Backticks, because we want to mix a string with a variable. And then we're going to want to put a username. And then if we append .png, I say dot, not comma, then this should load their image. I wonder how big it's going to be. Let's have a look. What's wrong with that? Username is not defined. Oh, Eddie. It's definitely Friday afternoon. I've got it on the line above. I've messed it up. Did any of you catch that? I think you probably did. It's me who's always asleep. So let's give that a refresh. Scroll to the bottom, and you can see it's got the, I mean, this Sarah exists, but this person, Brioche, doesn't. Actually, I could probably use, let me change that. Where's the Brioche one? Actually, I've got a second account. I think it is Eddie Jald number 2 is what I call it. And so if I change it in here, it probably bring up a profile picture of a rabbit, I'm guessing. Let's have a look. Hide that. Give that a refresh. Oh, okay, there's my chibi. Okay, so there's my kind of other test GitHub account. I only have one main GitHub account, but so I don't recommend people doing that, but I test things on the other account. So that profile picture is obviously massive, and there are things that we can do. We can make it rounded, and we can also, I think they have it down here. Any of you remember, let me know in the chat. So we have filters, effects, not effects. You could put a drop shadow on it or something. But border radius, this is the one rounded full. So we could do that to make it round, and then we'll want to change the size of it. But you kind of get the idea. Class name, put it on there. And you can see now it's rounded. And I think we'll just put a simple size on this for now. Size equals, I don't know, 128. It needs to be quite small. I don't know how big 128 is. That didn't work. It is size. Oh, it's height, not size. Or height or width, isn't it? There we go. That not work? New. Why not? You're all going to be telling me in the chat. Let's have a look. Yes, highly recommend free code camp for Python stuff. Great tip, Praduma. Thank you. Hey Gary, how you doing? Sarah. Yeah, well, height should work. Or was it width? I can't remember. I forget. There we go. Okay, width. Obviously still even a lot smaller, probably like 32. And then you can make it clickable to their profile as well and put it side by side. Again, it will probably use a pre-built component, but that would be the testimonials section. And we could do it like a kind of like a I'm pointing at my screen, which is really stupid because you can't see where I'm pointing, but like a speech bubble sort of thing potentially as well, because it's a testimonial, it's someone saying something. I don't know, some ideas like that. But that wasn't too bad. Did that in an hour, under an hour. That's not bad. I know it's not quite finished, but it's not bad. Would you give people testimonials? Would you put testimonials on your profile? Obviously, if you like them, let me know. And that's it. But yeah, it's LinkFree is coming along really well, and so is the Finder project, and so is the Map project. So a big shout out to Carl and Amanda. They are moving the live map project forward as well, which is live.eddyhub.io. I need to make a GitHub event, so but then this is coming along well as well, so looks really good. I can make an event quickly now and push my changes. Actually, before I push my changes, I should remove all like the testimonials. I can leave the testimonials for now, but the test one I should probably remove because we're not using that. I was just showing that it didn't appear. Let's have a look. Let me remove that test one. I probably should remove my own one as well. Well, I'll leave it now for testing, actually. Let's leave that. And I'll say load this. Okay. So if I commit that, we should get an event. So here's the map. There we go. And let's add it. So if I go git add, I want all those changes, I think. There's still things to do. It's not finished. So the pull request is still in draft. You all can help with that, but we can say feature display testimonials. Okay, and if I push that, it should appear on the map, I think. Isn't that right, Carl? Let's have a look. There we go. Eddie did a push event, and my pull request triggered it. And me on the map will be 0, 0 because I've put in I still haven't fixed this. In my GitHub profile, I've got like 4 different locations. But yeah, if you raise a pull request, raise an issue, and you've opted in. So if I go to my draft pull request, and if I take a screenshot maybe of what I've got, not this one, if I take a screenshot of this one, like so, and then bring the map back up and head to up here, and I'll just put a screenshot of what I've got so far. This will appear as an edited event. Edited? Can't even say it. An event that was edited. Oh my God, it's Friday. An event that has been edited. I said it. Okay, let me just put a screenshot in here. Let me drop this in if I can find it. Okay, drop that in. Oh, dropped it in the wrong place, but that's fine. Just remove that. And then if you look at I can move this to the right, and therefore you can see the events down the side. Oh, Carl has already commented. Nice, and Carl's location is correct. If I just update that, and you see Carl's in Germany. Oh, Carl disappeared. I think we might have a little bit of a bug there. But these are the new, Carl, these are your new cards. They look very, very cool. I do like them. Nice. And then I think Amanda's putting the time on there as well, so we can see the times too. Times 2, not multiply by 2, but the times as well. So yes, awesome. But as always, it's been a fun stream with everybody. I'll write you a whole page testimonial for you later. Like I always say, Pradyumna, little and often, write one testimonial just with one line, and you can add more to that testimonial later on. So just, start off something. It will give me something to work with, and you can add more and improve it more over time as well. So don't worry about getting it perfect just yet. But thank you, I appreciate it. Yes, live map is on GitHub as well. We should probably add a footer down here for the GitHub link. Yes, so it'll be under the EddyHub projects, and it isn't pinned. We should probably pin it up here, but it will be, there you go, EddyHub Live. That's the project. So I will share that in the chat now. So if you want to have a look and get involved, we were talking about doing, Pradyumna has beat me to it. Thank you so much, Pradyumna. We're talking about doing some Discord calls on this one, and maybe pushing that forward as well, because I think it's quite interesting. I like to have it up in a live stream. I don't know, I could always have it like on the side potentially. And then that way, as we're working on stuff and coding and people are sending in pull requests, raising issues, it can let me know when something has come in. But people do need to opt in to it on the support repo. So on the support repo, you do just need to raise an issue to say you opt in. So on the support repo under EddieHub, if you go to issues, you go to new, you've got EddieHub API add. So you just hit there, put in your username and then submit it, and it will then start displaying your data on the map. And then there's another one to remove it as well if you want later on. Awesome. Thank you all so much. We wrapped it up in an hour. I had nothing else planned, so that's pretty good. Maybe I can go get some dinner. Everyone have a great weekend. I look forward to geeking out with you. Leave some comments on the pull request. Let me know what you think with ideas and stuff. And I might go and treat myself. It's Black Friday, right? Treat myself to buying this, get all access, and it's a Black Friday deal. So refactoring UI as a bundle. I might go buy this now. Everyone, have a great weekend. Thank you all so much for helping me and geeking out. And I'll see you in the EddieHub Discord. There's a link in the description below. If there's no more questions for me, there are no more questions. Okay, awesome, everyone. That was fun. I enjoyed that. I hope you had fun too. Just don't deploy today. Every time we merge to main, we deploy. Deploying is part of the fun. I'll catch you all in Discord. Bye, everyone.